How's it going, everyone? Welcome to another episode of the Stoppage Time Stooges podcast. I'm back. I'm sad I missed the 50th episode. I really wanted to be on for the 50th episode. But hey, I'm back for the 51st. So there's that. You make up. But I'm here with my friends, Christian, Jacob, Ricardo. Boys, how are we doing today? All right, that's cool.
Well,
all right.
Swell.
I was waiting for Jacob's word of the day.
Swell.
How are you doing?
That's a complete lie, Jacob. I know you're not swell. We have just had a 20-minute talk about why you're not swell.
Come on, don't lie to the people.
Well, you don't have to, throw me under the bus like that. But if that's what you feel you need to do, then okay.
Well, someone named Chris Drury exists in your life, and you don't.
That's not a name I want you to say when we're recording this podcast. But you did, so okay. I'm not gonna react how I normally would.
It's okay. We'll talk Enzo Maresca later. Enzo Maresca. We'll talk about him later. He still does that, by the way. Every interview I watch of his, it's a weird tick.
I don't care, to be honest with you. If that's the worst thing that he does, then my God, then
he's like a Despicable Me villain.
Yeah, him and Sheldon Keefe.
True, so true. Oh man.
Anyway,
but Ricardo, I don't want to just ignore you. I'm doing very swell right now.
Good. That's good.
We got some things to discuss today. We came out of the international break, some action across the leagues. By the way, I'm repping the U.S. today. It's cool. We're having fun. I believe they have the 8th most goals of non-European nations in league play.
I didn't know that, but that's cool.
I read that. That's your random fact of the day. And soon we might acquire Canada, if you want to listen to the news. So if that happens, we get Alphonso Davies, Jonathan David. We'll add them to the fold, and we'll be a superpower. But not to get political. Manchester City right now is a mess. Jacob's a mess right now too.
I didn't see that. I didn't think.
No, he's swell though. He's not a mess.
Andrew's throwing curveballs, knuckle curves. I can't hit any of them. Yeah, slurps.
Baseball, something else.
Slombo.
Yep. Man, Ian Hamilton. Wow, we're just swerving all over through this podcast to start. This is a great start. But we love this. We love this. Who's swerving out of control right now? Here we go. Man City. I mean, what a nightmare after Pep signs his extension. You look at some of these losses. I knew when they lost to Brighton, I was like, okay, something's wrong. That's when I was like, okay. Well, first off, and I joked this with Ricardo last time I saw him at work. I was like, okay, it's rinse repeat with City. Get down early, bring in De Bruyne in the 70th minute. Maybe get close to a goal. Lose 3-0. It's rinse, repeat. Rinse, repeat. I had them. They were my favorites entering the season, and I was like, until they prove me wrong, I'm going to keep picking them as my favorite. Guess what? They're proving me wrong right now. They just had this massive clash with Liverpool this past Sunday. I'm sure Christian will discuss that a little bit, where Liverpool, frankly, looked dominant and looked like a much better side than City right now. And this is a team who just drew Feyenoord in the Champions League, a game Ricardo and I discussed at work. What's going on with City, boys? What's going on? Put up that banner.
I think the easiest answer is they're missing the best player in the world.
Yep.
And I think Jacob said this to me. Every game that they look poor, it just more and more proves the point that he is the most important player to any team in Europe. I mean, I cannot believe they had a 3-goal lead against Feyenoord in the Champions League.
That's by
15
far
minutes
the
to
worst
go,
one.
and they threw it away.
That's the one to me that's like, all right, now something's really wrong. Like, because they always, I don't know why Tottenham's had their number forever. I have no idea why it's always been like that. Although 4-0 is a bit of a shocker. All right, Bournemouth, they're sneaky. But that one was like, what? Like, they had a 3-0 lead at home to Feyenoord, and they friggin' drew. That really took me aback.
Puzzling. I don't understand.
And
they're not in a good position to be in the top 8 of the Champions League either. So, I mean, they could be out in that qualifying round to get into the round of 16. I think they have to sign a 6 in January. I don't know who's available.
Bring back Calvin Phillips.
Poach Subamendi. But if they want to salvage their season, I think they need to sign a 6. Because Gundogan's not the answer. Rico Lewis isn't the answer. Kovacic, when he was fit, was good, but not the answer.
Well, they weren't losing.
I don't even know who the second best option is. Maybe John Stones?
Yeah.
Well, he did that a couple years ago, right?
Something.
Yeah.
Didn't he do that a couple years ago where he basically played John Stones and Rodri?
Yeah, and it worked.
And he completely changed the formation, and it worked. I mean, he could do that. It's just so weird because I never thought I would see City be this bad for any stretch of time ever. And it hasn't happened maybe Pep's first year, maybe. Or probably pre-Pep, but it's astonishing because yes, Rodri's gone, but Haaland was rolling at the start of the season, and now he's not. And De Bruyne's on the bench, and it's just weird. Like, it's very puzzling. Like the game against Liverpool, they were like a little kid that was scared to go in the dark. Like they couldn't get in the attacking half of the pitch. They barely could. It's like they were scared. It was like, it's like, go move the ball. It's like
Haaland had 16 touches in that game, so that's perfectly your point. I mean, they couldn't feed their most informed player.
It was a weird game, but it was a weird game that they still could have won because Liverpool wasted so many chances, and they seemed like they were getting rattled off the fact that they kept missing so many chances. They were getting almost angry at the fact that they weren't putting the team away. So it wasn't like the game was like out of reach the whole time, but they were thoroughly outclassed.
I mean, one point I will say is just seeing some of the stuff like pundits are saying of just like, oh, Pep may be a little stubborn and not changing his tactics. I feel like I think he's stuck with the same formation this whole time and this entire streak. I mean, obviously the nuances of some things not having Rodri and other players, but it's just not clicking. And especially the game against Liverpool. I mean, I think just generally, I think they got to find a way to get Haaland more involved. Like, you got to cross the ball in. Like, you can't just keep passing it in and expecting, just walk it into the net. Like, they can't do that. They don't have the personnel. They don't have enough healthy players to do that. De Bruyne is still coming back from his injury. He came on in the second half, but still, like, you can't just keep doing the same things and with unfit players and players who don't start regularly and expect to be the same City that you've always been. Because it's just playing Gundogan's.
He's lost his legs.
Oh, he's lost his legs.
34. You would expect after a long season with Barcelona and then the Euros that he was not going to be able to play 90 minutes every game and be effective.
Yeah, and then Foden's having a down season too, and they're playing everyone across different lines of the formation. So it's just, I don't know. Maybe a change of formation is what they have to do, but I don't know if Pep's really willing to do that. But again, health is, definitely, the injuries is hampering them, but every team has injuries, so that can't be, the main excuse.
You want to know something, Ricardo?
Yeah.
You have as many goals as Phil Foden this season. Zilch.
He was bad on Sunday too.
Yeah.
Like I just looked 7 lost duels, most in the match. I don't know what happened to him. I mean, he was the best player last year for City.
Yeah,
arguably.
easily.
Well, he spent too much. He played for England. That's what happened.
But then you would think that Pep would be willing to, rest him early on in the season, and he kind of just.
Do you
threw
think
him
that's
in
the
there.
problem? I don't know if
What
that he's run down. I mean,
He's so young. That can't be the problem.
exactly. Like this isn't Gundogan. This isn't De Bruyne.
true.
This isn't. I mean, he's a kid. I mean, it's not like he's. I don't know. I don't know what the problem with him is, but they need answers now. And they don't have. It's not like they have an easy start. Their next game is Forest. That's not a cupcake game.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not getting any. I mean, they have Forest, Palace. It's not an easy game. They have Juventus. They have Man U. I kept telling my dad, God, you better hope they win a game before that. You better. Oh my God. If my team had to play City soon, I'd be praying like hell they win a game before. Because the last thing you want is to play a City team where they still haven't broken their losing streak or winless streak. But I mean, I think they'll figure it out. I mean, 6 titles would lead me to believe that they're gonna figure it out. I mean, I just can't see the guy that's been the best manager in the world for the last, I say, 15 years. This team's just gonna fall apart. I just don't see it. I can't see it. But who knows? Maybe it will. Maybe all good things have to come to an end, and I don't know. Maybe this is for City. It's going to end, and it's going to end in a brutal fashion. But we'll see.
Sorry, boys. My dog is going off, so I might on mute. So I'm trying not to talk much.
Been there before.
But right now, only referencing it because Christian mentioned it at the beginning of the conversation. City is currently sitting 17th in the UCL league table. You want to know who's 24th in the final spot?
You didn't have to say it.
Real Madrid.
Real
Didn't have to
Madrid.
say it.
Change the format back.
Ricardo, you want to feel better? Guess who's the first team out?
Well, PSG. No,
there you go.
Atletico?
PSG is the first team out.
PSG.
Whatever. That doesn't make me.
I honestly didn't expect that to make Ricardo feel any better.
It didn't.
Ricardo hates PSG.
I hope that the people at UEFA if they want more crappy teams going farther in the Champions League, then if that's what they wanted out of this, then they're getting their wish. But
they thought they were getting the 12-team college football playoff, but
this is March Madness. It's like oh wait, we have Shadron State. And it's like, whoop-de-doo.
Yeah, here you have Oral Roberts making it to the Sweet 16 here. Yep.
I don't know.
Yeah, here's Brest making it to the quarterfinals.
I'm not Micah Richards. I'm not gonna go into a tizzy.
No.
Oh man.
Oh.
Good stuff. All right. Well, kind of continuing this conversation, we had briefly mentioned City's match with Liverpool, and right now I'm in City's lagging behind for looking at the table in the Prem, where it's leading us to ask, like, are they even the biggest threat to Liverpool at this point?
I think I have a good answer to this question.
I lean yes, but again, I know me and Andrew had Arsenal third going into the year. I'm still not that high on them. Like they don't look. Yeah, they look better with Odegaard. Clear. I mean, you would expect that, but I feel like they're going to prioritize a run in the Champions League more. I think it's going to get to that point. They're 9 points back, 13 games in. I'm going to lean City because, I'm not going to say they're out of it yet because it's a long time. They've made up gaps probably as much as 11 points in the past. Again, it's hard to do it without Rodri, but you would think that in January they're going to see that they need at least another option to play there, and they're going to solve it. So for me, the biggest challenger is Man City. I'm still not really that high on Arsenal.
I think
I
the
just
biggest
wish
threat to Liverpool is Mohamed Salah's press clippings. To be honest with you, I mean, Salah can say it doesn't matter. It matters because they can keep winning, but if he keeps answering questions, and I don't blame him, but I think if this keeps coming up, the uncertainty around his contract, you saw what happened when Klopp announced that he in the middle of the year that he wasn't coming back. They won 1 trophy when they could have won 4. I mean, I'm not saying that's the biggest reason why they did not win more than 1 trophy, but it's out there. I just think for Liverpool, the biggest thing is like not limiting distractions.
Yep. Sure.
I still wonder, like, and also if they get a big injury. I mean, Kanate's out right now. But they have, I mean, and I know, but I mean, Allison's out, but Kelleher has been great.
Unbelievable.
I wonder if and when he'll get poached by a bigger club to be the number 1, and if they'll let him go. That's my biggest question.
I think he'll leave in the summer because they got the keeper.
Why did they sign him?
From
no, I'm serious. Like, why did they sign him to be a backup?
Well, I think Allison's getting interest from Saudi. Maybe if I had to guess, Allison will probably leave the season after. If I had to guess,
I don't understand why these guys want. Why would you want to leave Liverpool, like to go to Saudi Arabia? Like if you left to go to Real Madrid or Barcelona, I could sort of.
But
no, I know. Cha-ching. Yes, I understand. But still, I mean,
dealing with Fenway Sports Group here.
That too.
But it's gonna be. I mean, to be serious about this, I guess it's Arsenal. I don't feel great about Arsenal either, but I don't think my team's ready to compete. I wish they were. I don't think that they are for the title. The manager doesn't think that they're ready to compete for the title, which I actually don't mind him saying. And I can't really trust City right now. I mean, unless they win like 10 in a row, which is certainly possible. But I mean, Liverpool they've barely trailed. They've barely they don't give up goals.
That's the difference between Slot and Klopp. Control.
Exactly. They don't give up goals. So I keep waiting for someone to figure them out. It hasn't really happened yet. So, and I guess another thing with Liverpool is if they get run down by playing a lot of games between the Champions League, the other English Cup, stuff like that. Those I honestly think those things are the biggest threats. It's themselves rather than the other teams, because when you have an 11-point lead, like it's on you if you don't win the league, in my opinion, rather than the other teams. So yeah.
I'm gonna say, oh man, it's too easy to go with City because they've been there and done that. The year where Arsenal were up 10 points and they blew it, and City won the league. So it's, I still think they have enough players to do that. It's just their health. They got to get healthy, and perhaps sign 6, like you said, Christian. So, they've won 6 titles for a reason. Like it's, but I guess my argument for Arsenal would be defensively. I think they are up there with Liverpool. They're probably the 2 best defenses. But and Odegaard back is huge. If he stays healthy, I think they won't have no, they'll definitely be better in terms of scoring goals. So, yeah, I kind of cheated there. I went with both of them, but it's not going to be Chelsea. I'll say that much. Or Brighton, Andrew. But
hey, stop the count. Stop the count. Don't rig the election. We got Brighton in 4, Man City at 5, tied at 23 points. We got to stop the count. We can't have City in that number 4 spot. No, I just know that after Boxing Day, it's going to go all downhill for Brighton anyways. So they always have a great start. The great start to the season. Then it all goes downhill after playing Spurs. After beating Spurs, it will go downhill. No, so yeah, no, you know how much I respect Man City. I have a deep respect for Pep, even though I struggle to say that from his past experience, his past stops. He's not a fraud on like the X guy. I still can't I don't have the guts to pick Arsenal, to say I don't have the guts to say they're the biggest threat to Liverpool, because I know they're gonna bottle it somehow.
It'd be awesome, and Christian would hate this, but what would be awesome is if they somehow overtake Liverpool, and then in the last, now that would be amazing.
Oh
no
yeah,
thanks.
That would probably be the peak.
That would be my hate Super Bowl. Just like last year. I mean, last year was also great because they won nothing, and that was amazing, winning nothing.
Yeah, so
hopefully that happens again. But
yeah, as of right now, I'll bank on City turning it around if they were to come back. Right now, Liverpool are. I think
I think Jacob's answer is probably the best one.
Yeah.
Thinking about it now, because Slot's in this position for the first time in his career, in the toughest league in the world. So, how do you manage your players with an 11-point lead in December?
Mm-hmm.
That's a fair point. So I'm interested to see how
he also plays them a lot of minutes. He hasn't.
He doesn't rotate
tweak a
much
lot.
in the
So
league,
that's
at least.
and
for a team loaded with older, or when Salah's 32 still, but like
Van Dijk's playing every match, but he's going to go.
No, that's different. But again, I just think that for him, rotation in the Carabao Cup and the FA Cup a little bit, and the Champions League is going to be very important.
Yep.
Because if he runs them down, they're not going to win the league. So there's that as well. But I just think that Liverpool are rolling right now, and I mean, I guess all it takes is one bad loss to a crappy team for things to spiral, but they seem pretty focused right now.
I think if we want to transition into the next topic, I think it'd be interesting to discuss. I know Jacob's going to say no, but Chelsea in this conversation, because I do think there is a point that I could be wrong, but there is no pressure on this team, which Jacob's going to discuss because they're not getting the credit they deserve. But at least media pressure, there's no. I don't. At least from my point of view, they're not being discussed as one of them, which I think actually benefits them, because there's no pressure on a young team that's got a lot of quality players. They don't have the same pressure as Arsenal or Man City to turn this thing around. At least on player quality alone, I think they're up there. But
they're also up there on depth.
Right. So, there's not going to be obviously you got to keep Cole Palmer fit.
Yes.
If they can keep him fit, and for the most part the squad remains fit, I would not be surprised if they're the team to put pressure on them, in my opinion, in terms of putting pressure on Liverpool. That, to me, is what I see it, because, how many good results has Chelsea had lately? They were great against Villa, right?
Amazing. Tremendous performance.
They've played pretty well against most of the other top teams. Again,
they need to, but they need to win against the top teams. I don't mean to get negative, because I'm very happy with this team. I'm tired of 1-1 draws against Arsenal, Man U. Liverpool they lost, but no, I want to win against those teams. That's one of the things that I've said. That's the next step. They need to go out and beat City or Liverpool or Arsenal this year. If they don't, I'm going to be a little upset because last year they didn't do it. That's, to me, the next big hurdle for them to climb to show that they're making a next step. And I don't need them to win the league this year. I'd be ecstatic if they won the league, but just get to the Champions League, please. And win the Conference League. That's mandatory also. They have to do that. What?
It's not a guarantee.
It's not, but they should.
We
They
learned
better
last
win that.
year it's not a guarantee.
I don't
Not a
care.
guarantee.
Thought
Win-
Aston Villa was going to lose to Olympiacos. And
We're not Aston Villa, okay?
Yeah, but European football is just different, man. Anything, literally anything.
ties
can
going
happen.
to
Yeah.
Greece or Latvia. All these country. You
Send
don't know
them-
what you're
no.
getting into.
Send them wherever. I don't care. Go out and win.
Would you here? Let me pose this question. Would you prefer a conference league title or one of the league?
Well,
one of
they're
the
not. They're
cups?
already out of the Carabao Cup because they threw that. Which I
Okay.
don't
So
like.
FA Cup or Conference League? I believe both gets them Europa League, right?
Well,
Yes.
I don't.
Both would get European qualification.
I'd be more upset if they didn't win the Conference League, but I really want the FA Cup because they probably should have won the FA Cup like 3 times in the last 5 years. Between last year when they got robbed because of Jack Grealin's obvious handball when he freaking swatted the ball down like he was swatting a basketball away. When they lost to Leicester City when they should have won, when they got robbed against Arsenal in 2020 when that freaking Anthony Taylor missed it. Kovacic's foot got stepped on and they missed it.
All right, so it sounds like FA Cup.
I guess, but I will be very angry.
I guess.
But I will be furious if they don't win the Conference League because they are easily on paper the best team in the Conference League.
I would not be shocked if they lost. I'll take the field right now in the Conference League right now over Chelsea.
Okay.
And I have great respect for Chelsea, as you know.
I know
have them
you
top
do.
4 for
I
the
know you
season.
did. You
But-
had Maresca's manager of the year.
Yeah. So I
He
I have
right?
great
Yeah.
respect. But
Okay.
I'll easily take the field in the Conference League right now.
Well, it
I mean,
depends,
look
because
what
they haven't played their A team in the Conference League. So I hope that Maresca, when the games get more important, will actually play Cole Palmer. I mean, the team they sent last week, half the team that plays in the Premier League wasn't even there. You don't even have to travel.
Usually in the group stage, yeah. Group stage, yeah.
So,
You're not.
but
Or it's the league phase now, right?
do you want me to just go on about Chelsea? Like, talk about
Well,
Chelsea?
where are you at right now with them? Because
Yeah.
I
they're in
feel
a good
pretty
spot right
good.
now.
It feels weird to say I feel pretty good about Chelsea because they wounded me, made me so angry the past 2 years. They made me so just dead. I was so down on this team for such a long time. And I had a little optimism going into the year, but my devil in me said don't do it. They're gonna let you down again. I kept saying to myself, why would I believe them now? Because what prior evidence do I have that they're gonna turn something around? But my God, I can't believe I'm gonna do this. Todd Bowley, the dad, Iqbali, I actually call him by his real name and not what I used to call him. I'm sorry. You were right.
13 games in and you're sorry?
You know what? No, I can't do that.
I can't believe it.
I don't want to get.
Jacob.
I don't what?
You are overreaction, Jacob.
Yeah, wherever the scale tilts, that's where I'm at. But no, 13 games in, I can't ask for a lot more. I mean, there are certain things that they have to improve on. They're terrible on corners. Terrible on corners. It doesn't matter who takes them; they're never good. That's a big problem. Still too many yellow cards. A little too undisciplined. Last year they broke the record. I really don't want them to do that again. The goalkeeper is better than I thought he'd be. He still gives me a couple nervous breakdowns a game, which I would like it if he could keep at 1 a game instead of like 4. But they're so much better than I thought they'd be. The style that they play is so much fun to watch. It's not boring. It's not like, oof, God, this is gonna take forever to score. Like, this manager is everything I could have asked for and more. He is so good at his job, and everything he's gotten, he has squeezed every ounce of talent out of this team, which is something that Pochettino didn't do, and Potter obviously didn't do, and Tuchel didn't do. But he keeps pulling the right strings. The way he talks, his press conferences, I really enjoy. He doesn't make a lot of excuses. He is pretty straightforward. He's not afraid. It's like, I don't want that guy on my team. He's not going to play. It's not that difficult to understand. He's not going to like BS someone around it, which I like. He's like, I don't want Raheem Sterling. Get him out. I don't need Ben Chilwell. I'm sorry. And he's like, these are my guys, and they're going to play, and this is who I want. And they play for him. He's gotten Nicholas Jackson is so much better than he was last year. He has 8 goals already. Last year he had 14. So he's on pace to score more. Cole Palmer. It's funny. Cole Palmer, we're not Cole Palmer FC anymore. And I like it like that. I don't have to live and die with every Cole Palmer, move. But every time I'm like, he hasn't done much in a while. He just, bags a goal like he did on Sunday. Some incredible finish that I'm just like, God, this guy's amazing. And I get to do the celebration. Love that celebration. And Sancho looks good. Pedro Neto, talk about a guy I was really wrong about. This guy has been so much more than I could have asked for.
I love this list Jacob's going through right now. It's just guys he was hating
I'm waiting for one.
I know there's another one, and I don't want to jump the gun too much with him either because it could turn in any minute. But EnZERO Fernandez has been kind of good. He's been pretty good. I have to admit it.
I think he's been better than that.
I know, but it's only been like 7 games. And you know what happened is he got benched, and he came back into the team and he started to perform again. And this is the EnZERO Fernandez that was supposed to be worth $100 million. I don't know if it's going to continue. We'll see. I mean, he played Caicedo at right back on Sunday, and he's great. Caicedo's awesome. I'm so happy. This is the guy that we signed. This is the $115 million guy.
$115 million for a right back.
He's a holding midfielder. But he's been really solid. He looks so much more composed. He looks so much more confident. He looks so much more in control. It's such a joy to see.
He's good when he's on. He's very good.
He's been really good this year. Marc Cucurella, talk about another transformation in the last 2 years. My God, is this guy? I mean, the game against Arsenal, he owned Bukayo Saka, and those crooks at FootMob gave him a 6.9 rating, which is absurd. It should have been a friggin' 8, but that's beside the point. And what sucks, and unfortunately, my guy Reece James hamstrings let out again. Oh, why? It's so painful. And Wesley Fofana just hurt his hamstring, which upsets me because I haven't been crazy about Wesley Fofana, but I thought he was getting a little better, so that's disappointing. But they're better. They're a lot better, man. They're so much fun to watch. I feel like joy when I watch them play, which I haven't felt in a really long time, at least on a consistent basis. And another one, and he hasn't lit the world on fire, but Romeo Lavia's back. And I'm so happy about it. He's so good. He's so slick with the ball. It's just like when he gets the ball, I just know it's going to be a perfect short pass to whoever's right there. He doesn't panic. He's just awesome. And I love him and Caicedo playing next to each other. It's just a great pairing, and they look good, man. I'm really this team hasn't. I can't believe I'm this positive about Chelsea because it's been so long, but they've been great, and I'm really excited about what this team. I mean, Enzo Maresca, he was saying like he said that apparently he said to the owners when he met them, he's like, "We're going to dominate Europe for the next 5 to 10 years." I'm like, this guy is awesome.
You know, Enzo Maresca is the OG Rizzler.
I don't really care about that at all. But he's been great. He's such a good manager. I'm so happy that this club hired him. He's just great. And I pray that he is here for a long time and not like every other Chelsea manager where he doesn't last long. Please let this be. Please. I don't want another manager anytime soon. I knew he was also good when Ancelotti said to John Obi Mikel, he's like, the good manager, the Italian manager, I think he's going to be good. Chelsea always has good Italian managers. Enzo Maresca, Antonio Conte, Carlo Ranieri. It's awesome. And he's carrying on that great tradition.
Tradition unlike any other.
Amazing. And, Southampton soon, they better win that game. But this weekend, and I'll end with this, this weekend is a very, very, very important game. Oh, my God, my dog. A game that they must win. You know what? Wait, let me come back to me.
Barely hear your dog.
Ange just got to the front door.
You can't hear him?
I mean, a little bit, barely.
All right. This is a very important game against Tottenham. Everybody knows how much I despise Tottenham Hotspur. I hate everything about that club. I hate the players. I hate their smug, know-it-all manager. Big fraud, as I like to call him. Who is the biggest media darling in the world, and it's disgusting. Big Enge. Yeah, I mean, I like the way you play football, It is imperative that Chelsea win this game. There are no excuses, and it sucks because they're playing. It's actually 12-on-11 because Anthony Taylor's reffing the game, which is a disgrace. I swear to God, if they let them pull Kukureya's hair again, and he doesn't do anything, I'm gonna really go ballistic. But I really hope they can win this game. It would be a big test, and beating Tottenham is very important to Chelsea. It always has been. If you don't beat Tottenham, it's a big problem. You have to beat Tottenham, and it's a game that I'm very fired up for because I'd like them to beat the crap out of them, but I'll take any sort of win whatsoever. Just win. No 1-1 draw. No draws. And you better not lose that freaking game. No. I want a win. It's very important that they win this game.
Jacob, you're really living up to your idol Colin Coward's calling card right now.
In what regard?
The flip-flops. I mean, you've done complete 180 on literally everything.
I know. I think maybe I'm running for Congress. I don't know. I admit I have flip-flopped, but one thing I always said, when I was bashing my team, I always said this. I hope I'm wrong. I always said that. I hope I'm wrong. I said that before the season started. I always made that abundantly clear. I hope to God I am wrong about this stuff. And I couldn't be more happy that I've been wrong.
All right. You want to know the complete opposite of that? You want to know what makes Ricardo and I devastated to be wrong?
Oh, that Nicholas Jackson has more goals than Kylian Mbappe.
Yes. Ricardo, I mean, where do we even want to start with this godforsaken club?
Well, we should definitely start with the negative because there are some slight positives from this season.
Yeah, slight.
You're only a point behind Barcelona.
Okay?
with the
Well,
game
that
in
was
hand.
one of the points I was gonna make. Thanks.
Yeah. It does not feel like it. It does not feel like it at
It's
all.
fine. That part's fine.
Yeah.
Champions League is a different story. At this point, I'm just like, just get in. That's pretty way below standard than what I expected. I'm sure you expected better as well. I thought, automatically they'd qualify, but it's definitely not happening now. So, I, I don't know, man. It's Mbappe doesn't show up for big games. That's a big problem. The team as a whole, just listen.
What
Again,
happened
every
to
team
Jude?
has.
Is it
What about him?
injuries? Is it with Bellingham? I mean, it's
Didn't
just injuries.
Florentino Perez come out and say he's played too many minutes? Am I imagining
Uh-oh.
that?
Yeah. Well, I mean,
Uh-oh.
yeah, no, he did say that, but he's not wrong. And he's also not playing the position he was last season. So, although I think he's starting to figure it out again, find his form. 3 goals in his last 3 LaLiga games, but I really hate using. No, I'm not. This is not an excuse. It's just the number of injuries they have is a little absurd. I mean, thankfully they're not long term. Vini should be back probably this month.
Every week, it's like someone's out for a month.
But that's the thing, yeah. It's like someone gets injured almost every other game, and it's really annoying. And then someone comes back and then re-injured. It's really frustrating to see that. So it's like this team can never fully gel, but every team deals with injuries, as I've said. Same, like I said about City, and last season, was no different. They dealt with way too many losing players, Militao, Alaba. So it's kind of going through the same thing. Just the front line is still an issue, but and it's really Mbappe that's kind of. Do I dare say that holding him back? Kind of is, right, Andrew? Kind of holding them back a little bit.
A little bit. I like Mbappe out on the left wing. I can see the potential with that. Right now, the current setup of running him and Vinny as the 2 top strikers, not working at all. Not working at all. You need to give Mbappe a little more space, I think, on the outside. And he's not really getting space to roam, weirdly enough. So he's kind of just stuck in his little position, taking stupid shots that, go 5 feet above or wide of the net. So that's that. I weirdly enough, I agree. Yes, he's holding him back. Mbappe is holding that. I mean, Jude. Weirdly enough, I mean, Vinny. It's like the thought of trying to feed Mbappe and get him going, I think, is affecting all these guys.
Well, on that, it doesn't help that he's not, playing well either. He's not.
That's my point. That's my point. They're trying to get him into it, and it's negatively affecting the team. And I mean, God, we should have known the season was cursed when Carvajal was out for the year. We're like, that's what we should have known. Okay, we're cooked. Danny Carvajal is. I mean, if Jacob's gonna go by aura,
right?
I just remembered we weren't recording. For the Ranger fans out there, Jacob was saying before we started recording that they need Ryan Reeves to come back and replace Rempe because Reeves as the Ranger enforcer, because Reeves has aura. Revo has aura. Like Gerard Gallant clearly saw. Carvajal has that same aura. Carvajal has that same aura. Militao, I mean, come on. When's he gonna be healthy?
Is Alaba back?
He comes back next month.
Yeah. So,
But again, he's not going
Camavinga's
to be
doing
90 minutes
Camavinga's
every
doing
week
the hand.
type guy yet.
What was that?
no.
I was going to say he's not going to be ready to play 90 minutes week in, week out till probably like April.
Yeah.
Sheesh.
It's been a while since he's played, right? Over a year. Yeah, I mean, you can't really rely on him every game at this point.
And when Alaba, I love Alaba.
Just hasn't been out there.
It just has not played, yeah. I mean, Camavinga, our boy Camavinga is dealing with a hamstring right now. It's like you can't escape the injuries. Can't escape them. And it's so depressing. And Real Madrid, I know Ricardo and I are somewhat crying. At least we have like some depth because we're Real Madrid. So so like we can kind of make it up, but it's just, man, I just want to see this team fully fit. And with Mbappe in form.
Yes.
I mean, that's the most important thing. We need to see Mbappe in form.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know about you, but I feel like he will eventually find it. But
I'm just happy. I'm happy he's at least shooting. It's not like he's not shooting shots. It's just he gets his touches. It's just he either dribbles into like three people, shoots it 5 feet wide or above the net, like I said,
or he's offside,
or is offside.
Yeah.
Or shoots it straight onto the. I forgot that one. Shoots it straight onto the goalkeeper.
1v1.
1v1. Yeah. That happens. That's happened at least 5 times.
Yeah. Too many sense. Yeah.
Missing penalties, but I don't even want to talk about the Liverpool match.
Nah.
Keller looked like 2014 Manuel Neuer. I mean, what are we gonna do?
Yeah, that's just. Yeah, well, we both talked about that. We knew it wasn't gonna end well, but whatever. Just win the next 3 games. At least just qualify, man.
And hey, they should. I mean, the next 3 Champions League matches: Atalanta. That'll be their toughest one. Salzburg, and then my favorite, Brest.
Yes. Yeah. The last 2 at home, right? So, yeah, they are.
No. Yeah, because you're in Bergamo for the one against.
Okay.
Only Salzburg.
Okay, great.
I mean, that would get you to, if let's say, 6 points. You're probably you're definitely in the top, like 10-ish, probably at that point. If you get to 12,
it's fine.
10 to like 14 range, I would assume you'll probably finish then. You just got to take care of business in a 2-legged match against someone near the bottom of the qualifying teams.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, like Man City. That's why I don't want to be in that. Look at the bottom of this Champions League. I'm pulling it up. UCL table. Okay. 19 Juve, 16 Milan, 15 Atletico.
Bayern's in 13.
Bayern's 13, yeah.
I mean, the problem is the last qualifying spot right now is at 10 points with 3 to go. So I would assume that Real Madrid would have to win out to try to get into the top 8 and then get help.
And I think they're going to have to play in that playoff.
Yeah.
No matter what.
Yeah, probably.
I don't see him getting into that top 8 at this point. It just pisses me off. Freaking Barcelona. Freaking 3rd.
It's fine, but LaLiga is a different story.
So. Oh, no, yeah, no. But I want the back-to-back in the Champions League.
Hey, it's still possible, though. I'm not ruling it out. But
beat it. But right now, you know, them in the Champions League, you know what it feels like right now? It feels like Ricardo, it's perfect that you're in this call right now. It's kind of like a team like last season, the Philadelphia 76ers, trying to sneak into the playoffs.
Yeah.
And when they sneak into the playoffs, they're going to get like destroyed by, I don't know, an Aston Villa.
Not right now.
In a play-in.
Okay.
I mean, that's what this is going to be. This is going to be a play-in. It's literally a play-in round.
Okay, but I don't think they're going to get destroyed by a team like that.
No, but I'm just
saying.
saying.
The Villa. Oh my God.
I'm just saying that's what.
Villa was a bad example, but the point, I understand the point he's trying to make.
I'm just saying.
I don't agree with it.
I'm just spitballing. I'm spitballing a team. What do you want me to say? Benfica? I mean, what do you want me to say?
Di Maria revenge? Di Maria comes home?
I wouldn't even be mad at that. I don't agree with that. Whatever. No. I can't believe you compare them to the Sixers. That's crazy. That's criminal.
3-13.
At least this team knows how to win, Andrew.
They do know how to win. That's true. That's true. I'm just saying last season.
Tell me how you really feel, Howard.
I'm just saying a team that's good, that doesn't perform well in the regular season, that sneaks into the playoffs, and then inevitably loses in 5 in the first round. I.e. the Los Angeles Lakers, i.e.
Miami.
This guy. Yep. It's just bound that. But we could be the Miami Heat, sneak in, and then make it to the championship. And then lose to,
No.
Liverpool.
No, we lose to you.
I was gonna say, I don't know, man.
I don't. Record's not that great against you guys.
I'd love a repeat. That'd be fun.
Well, Jacob's been a noted Real Madrid supporter.
I'll never forget the Bale goal. Or the first one, excuse me.
All right, let's move on.
That's when they let John Strong and Stu do the Champions League.
Oh, John Strong, the Kevin Kugler of soccer. Imagine Kevin Kugler doing soccer. The penalty is no good.
He missed it.
Kylian Mbappe shot it straight on. And Kelleher made the save. Stu, I get it. Stu Holden will never let that down. Yeah, but I get bad vibes. I get bad vibes with this club. I know they're in here. We'll just switch the topic now to La Liga. I do agree. I do think they will find a way to turn around and win La Liga. I think they'll find a way to do that. I'm more so worried about the Champions League.
That's fair
at this moment. But I mean, if we're gonna talk about the La Liga table right now, if we want to talk about this table,
a real 3-horse race.
I mean, Jacob, Conor Gallagher.
We're doing fine.
It's peak Simeone.
Fine. I'm happy for him. He would have been a freaking bench player for Maresca. I mean, yeah, he's better than Dewsbury Hall, who I will probably be on loan at Leicester in January or Brighton.
I'm such a big Kieran Dewsbury Hall guy.
Mr. Conference League.
Right now, Barca is actually playing Mallorca. I forgot that was happening. So currently, Barca's up 1-0. So at the live table, they're up 4 points. But that's, live table. We still have 2 matches at hand for Real Madrid. So it's not a big deal. But no, I think it's so weird because they seem to play the most unconvincing style of football.
Yeah.
And then they'll beat thank God they're in La Liga. thank God they could beat Getafe like 4-0 and have these like get right games left and right for this club. But because of that, they can compete with a Barca who's had a very good season, struggling a little bit last few matches. But I think they'll rebound. I think Real Madrid will rebound in La Liga. It's my point.
Yeah. And there's also a little 2-week break. So
yes.
that'll be much needed. And they'll get players back.
You got that right for Real with all the injuries.
So they'll get players back. So it's still, what are we at? No, not even at the halfway point yet. So
no,
I still,
plenty of time. Plenty of time.
Yeah.
And like I said, I mean, as of right now, like to the minute, 2 matches at hand, we play Bilbao tomorrow, I believe, right?
Yeah.
On the road, which is going to be tough.
Yeah, that'll be tough.
Oh, yeah.
But no, I have faith. I have faith in that.
Yes, as do I.
I feel like
it's not as for me. It's not as weirdly enough, even though it's a close race. I feel more confident in Real Madrid and La Liga.
I mean, you should be.
Than I do with
Champions League.
No, than I even do with Liverpool in the EPL with that point differential. Actually, now that I say that, I'm just exhausted. I'm sorry. That was so stupid. That was so stupid.
I got what you're trying to say, though. I got your.
Sorry. There's a reason I'm in a beanie right now. I'm trying to cover my brain from just going all over the place.
I mean, I think the interesting thing to carry the conversation on is Barcelona's looked great for a good amount of the season. Real Madrid is obviously, as you guys have mentioned, not been anywhere near their best. And if they take the advantage of their 2 games in hand, they'd be at the top of the table.
Yes.
Which alludes to your point about optimism. To me, as a neutral, it feels very 50-50. I mean, it's obviously very early. I think injuries, and that's obvious, injuries will play a factor. But, I mean, I think the Barcelona squad, at least currently, is not that deep.
Yeah.
Which I think would be the one thing that could really haunt them. Because, again, I mean, for example, as we're recording, Lewandowski's getting rested. They got to keep him fit because I think over a large period of time, if he were to get injured, relying on like a Ferran Torres to play the number 9 and play it to a title-winning team is probably not realistic, in my opinion. So, yeah, right now I would probably – I think lean Real Madrid simply because they really haven't played their best, so I expect it to improve versus Barcelona where I could see, they lost to Las Palmas and Real Sociedad. They've had some blip results along the way where I could see that becoming a little more consistent. So I lean Real Madrid, but I think it's very, very close to 50-50 right now for me.
Play Endrick.
It's fun to have him jump over the little thing there.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Hey, he's a fireball. That kid's a fireball. Talk about aura. This kid thinks he's like the second coming of Pepe or Pele. Not Pepe. Not Pepe.
Nicholas Pepe? You better hope not.
No.
Flop.
Come on now. He's gonna play for the Cosmos, aka NYCFC, in 20 years. Yeah. All right. Cool. The last topic was going to be can Real Madrid overcome their injuries? We kind of talked about it already, but I mean, if we just want to solidify it, yeah, I think they can.
I think they can in La Liga. I don't know if they can in the Champions League.
Yes.
That's how I would phrase it.
I think it's the correct answer.
I'm still optimistic. Too optimistic, maybe.
I mean, if you give them a shot, there's always a chance with them. They are cardiac Madrid. I mean, they
Yeah.
they're
Exactly.
the team that will always be down 2-0 in the 80th minute and find a way to score 3 goals in 12 minutes.
Unless it's against Liverpool, but that's
Unless well, that was a
on.
different story. That was a different story.
You mean unless it's against Liverpool in the final?
Watch it. Yeah.
Oh, Gareth Bale.
Well,
Even though Zizou hated him with burning passion.
yep.
Jeff Bale.
Did he? I don't like he cut his hair now. It's throwing me off. I saw him doing television. It's like hair short. I'm like, the hell happened to Bale?
Freaking love that guy.
Oh,
Biggest Mbappe supporter.
He is. He is. He's always, if you listen to him talk, he's always like, he'll find the way.
Yeah.
He'll find the way to score.
I believe in Mbappe. I think you should too.
Yeah. I believe. Man, what a pod. Do we have anything else to talk about?
Congrats to Ruud van Nistelrooy.
Yes. Yes. The fine
being out of
Leicester
work.
City job.
I think they're a lock today.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
And they're not, but I don't know. Him versus Lopetegui, I don't know.
Should I change my sleeper pick?
I was gonna say I might have to look at that again.
Oh man.
Again, they could get demolished, but we'll see. The best is that did you see he said that the training ground at Leicester City it's almost like Real Madrid. Did you see that?
Did not see that.
He said that. He said it's so big, it's so great, grand. What I'm paraphrasing, but he was comparing it to Real Madrid's training ground.
Do we need Jon Gruden to coach Leicester City? Jamie Vardy. I love this guy, man. He won the Premier League one year in 2015.
He scored 11 games in a row.
That's wild, man.
Absurd, yeah. Vardy party.
It's probably one of the greatest underdog stories you could ever have in football. Oh man, that's how you know this podcast is going downhill. All right, we should probably end this. I need a series that's like Ted Lasso, but it's Jon Gruden in the Ted Lasso role. That's what we all need. That's how this country heals. That's how. You're telling me we have to sign this guy from the championship named Dan James? I heard he's got some pace. Show me your 40-yard dash. Can you do running a sub 4-3?
What's this 4-3-1-2 formation? I don't know about a 3-4 defense, man.
If you look at this Y striker, the X fullback running up the wing.
Give me the whiteboard, man.
This is called a inverted wingback.
You boys ever heard of Spider 2 Banana Man? It'll change your life.
I know about wingbacks. Army uses wingbacks. All right. All right. Enough stalling. I could go on with Gruden for days. Well, we'll think of some Gruden soccer bits for next week. Oh,
Gruden Grinder Soccer Edition.
oh yeah. It got me feeling nicey. The Nicholas Jackson. Hat trick against Southampton. 1 assist. Got me feeling nicey. Whoa. All right. Boys, you don't have a best bet this week. We can maybe post one to Twitter. before the weekend. We won't have one for the midweek games, but
Put
maybe for the
$100
weekend.
on City. No.
Hey, man.
No, stop.
Yeah. Pep Guardiola is like Andy Reid. I spent the offseason with him. All right, guys. Until next week. Take care. Have fun. Enjoy the soccer.